Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of Straight Up Show podcast. I am your host, Calvin. Today, we try to keep something going that we always talk about. If you listen to our podcast, we love going abroad. We love talking to people from different countries. And last season, we had a segment called Cultural Conversations with someone from Australia, which is like, wow, y'all talk to people from Australia. But if you're a fan of our show, we talk to people from Africa, from Europe, from France, India. We've been all over the globe, and so and a big part of our podcast in general is that we want to keep the conversation going. And I really feel like that there are a lot of stuff, especially in America. There's a world outside of America that a lot of Americans don't think there is, but there is a world and culture outside of America. But so I think that we should address some of these issues and kind of not be so empty-minded and empty, or just basically just be open about embracing other cultures. So today's episode is no different. Today we're going to talk to somebody that's been a guest on our podcast before, but the first time we talked, it was how can I say it was during like sad times, but because the whole riots were going on and stuff like that. But this time, nothing's really going on right now. There is some craziness in the world, but basically, today we want to give like a formal introduction to my guest. She is a friend of the podcast. She is the cousin of one of my good friends. So today's guest, help me welcome all the way from France, Miss Léna. Léna, how you doing, man?
Hi, Calvin. I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for coming on our podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And so about Léna, so ever since the podcast, Léna, you and I have kind of been kind of close friends. Like we talk almost every other day. I get to live in France through you. So it's been crazy since the last time I talked to you.
Yeah, it's been a long time actually since we talked through the podcast, and a lot of things happened.
Yeah, and then so I had some personal issues go on outside the podcast, and like lo and behold, the one person that made me feel better was Léna. She talked to me and gave me some encouragement. So for that, Léna, I want to say thank you for being positive to me and try to get me happy, I guess.
Yeah, I'm glad to help. So
You were like, "Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It'll be okay." I'm like,
yeah, you would be just fine.
thank you, thank you. So Léna, like I said, she is the cousin of one of my good friends, and that's how I met you. And like ever since then, it's been like a friendship. And you have like a birthday a couple months ago, so happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I was telling Léna the first time we talked to her, like you can tell a big difference from her English from then and now. So like you have been mastering it. So kudos to you for getting this English down. Like my French is still bad. So I'm gonna tell you right now, my French is still. I'm gonna try it. Okay, don't laugh. You ready? I'm gonna try it. So you can't laugh at me. Okay, Léna. Comment vas-tu? Did I say it right?
Ah, je veux bien, merci.
Yeah.
I understood you, so it wasn't that bad.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm more of a Spanish guy, not a French guy. But Léna, so for the people that don't know you, just kind of tell us, who you are and where you're from.
So I'm Léna, 20 years old. I just had 20 years old. I live in the eastern part of France, near Strasbourg. We have the European Parliament there, if that can help picture it. In a region named Alsace. Yep. And I'm doing currently. I'm still studying and also working at the same time as a commercial, like international commercial, and I study in overall business and trade. So yep.
Yeah, she's a hard worker, man. Like, like I tell y'all what, like Léna, I have never been to France, and I never had a desire to go to France until I talked to you because I look at her stories, right? And France is just so beautiful. And like, I think one thing that what was it the other day? Me and you were outside just hanging out, right? And then the streets are brick, and I was like, "Is it like a palace? What is that?" She's like, no, that's common here, you know. And I was like, why isn't that dirty? Like, like
Yeah, I mean it's just streets, like not dirty streets.
yeah. And so you're born and raised in France, right?
Yep, exactly.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So and you have, of course, you have family here, right, in the United States.
Yeah, I have some indeed. My cousin. So yep.
It's crazy. So, all right. So you living in France, like, so people, especially on Americans, like, you just told us you're on the west side of France, but how far are you
Mhm.
from Paris?
I'm about 4, 5 hours.
You said 5 hours.
By road. I mean, yeah, 5 hours, 4 or 5,
Jeez.
depending on the traffic jam.
Yeah, I know, like, here in Louisiana, well, not here in Louisiana, but like in Louisiana, people say, "Well, where are you from?" And I'll say like Louisiana, and they'll automatically think that I'm from New Orleans. Is that kind of how it is with like France? Like, well, I'm from France. Oh, you're from Paris? Is that kind of what you get too?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they just don't picture it. It's like there is Paris, and there are like other towns, but nobody knows about it. So it's like the unknown part of France, despite Paris.
So, what's it like for you? Like, just what's the difference between where you live and then Paris, France?
Oh, it's really different. First of all, I would say the people living in Paris are pretty different. And I won't say there are bad people. It's just different mindset. Like everybody is just so stressed and kind of mean sometimes. And when you go out, like out of Paris, it's just nothing to do with that. If people went to Paris, they will know what I mean, because it's really, really different in terms of people. Yeah, it's really different.
Like, they're more like stuck up and like bougie, kind of, sort
Yeah,
of, or
like I come from Paris,
just like.
that kind of stuff.
So, like, where you live at, what's it like? Just what's your like? I know you're in school and you work and stuff like that, but like, what's your everyday like life like in France?
Uh, well, obviously, I get up and go to work, so I can say a lot more about it. Yeah, I just go to work and I just go back home, um, run a little bit, and yeah, I'm just making some dishes for the meal, and yeah, lunch, dinner, and that's it.
Yeah, and like, so what do you like? What do y'all do out there for fun? Like, what's something that like? Because I know where you can be like, you don't have to tell everything, but like, you just tell me like, what's some of the fun things that you do when you're not working or you're in school, or what's like a casual like fun time in France?
Uh, well, first of all, I would say restaurants because like every friend of mine, and they just know me, and we all go to the restaurants together. It's like a weekly thing to do. Either it's Friday night or Saturday, even Sunday. I mean, yeah, all the time, and even during weekdays too. Depends. And then yeah, we do some escape games. I think you know that too in the US. And yeah, having fun, hanging out to the bars and different stuff like that.
And it's so cool because, like you said, go to bars and stuff. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, the drinking age in France is 18, not 21 in America, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's so crazy. Like that. So that's crazy. So in France, is the when you drive your car, is it on the left side or right side?
On the right side, like you have the word on the right side and the wheels, not the wheels, the
Steering
the
wheels, right?
wheels.
It's rule steering wheel,
Yeah,
steering
thank
wheel.
you. On the left side.
So that's crazy. So y'all just how do you drive that way? That's so weird.
I don't know. For me, it's just normal. So
Hmm.
I got used to this.
So, like, we're going to have a little bit more with Léna, who is here visiting us on the podcast all the way from France. This is our cultural conversation. Make sure you stay tuned to the other side of the break on the Straight Up Show podcast.
If you're a fan of our show, you know we take pride in being from Louisiana. From our show's colors to our conversations about food, we love our home state. And since it's Mardi Gras season, the Straight Up Show podcast now has exclusive Louisiana Pride merchandise at our online store. Just visit our website, straightupshowpodcast.com. That's STR, the number 8, showpodcast.com. Shirts start as low as $19.99. And remember, laissez le bon temps rouler.
Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Straight Up Show podcast. I am your host, Calvin.
And it provides a place for community members to come together and just be straight up with each other.
There's only one rule to our show. You gotta be Welcome back to the Straight Up Show podcast. This is our cultural conversations, and today we're all the way in France. Today I have my good friend. She's all the way in France right now. Her name is Léna. Léna, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Thanks to you.
Yeah. And like I said, she is becoming one of my good friends. You know, I'm very personal, right? I'm very personal. And because you and I usually talk, every other week, or, we don't really go that long without talking. And you just checked up on me and see how I was doing. And you're like, are you okay? And I was like, no. And then like you talked to me, and then like Léna's, she's younger than me. And like you made me feel so much better after talking to you. I'm like, how is it she's all the way in France, she's younger than me, and she's making me feel better about myself? So, I owe you a lot for that, just being there for me when I was like kind of down and sad. And like it was like how do you say, like, tough love. I mean, you gave me some tough love. You were like, hey, cheer up, stop crying, like you'll be all right. So so thank you so much for that tough love and kind of being there for me. And it's kind of crazy because I didn't know Léna when I met her through your cousin. So it was just like, thank you. Shout out to Vincent for like bridging the gap for us to be friends. And so he's a really good guy. And so I actually still have your gift right next to me too. So I keep it at my desk. She sent me a gift. I still have to send you your gift too. So I'm making. I gotta make it for you. I gotta make it. So, Léna. So one thing about Léna is that you love your country. You take pride in your country, and yeah, I can see that. But when I'm a foodie, so like when I get so jealous of you because the stuff that you post, I get so jealous of the foods that you get to eat. Like it looks so great. What are some of your favorite foods in France?
Well, I would say in the bakery stuff, in bakery in general, because you have so many different things and you can literally eat like everything they have there. So it's pretty amazing.
And you had this, I think, like one of your old jobs was you had the ice cream thing, and I was like, wait a minute, you make ice cream like that? Like what? I know that a lot of Americans think that people in France, like it's just French mustard or French fries. Is that like what's some of the biggest misconceptions about people in France that you think Americans get wrong?
Obviously, you talk about French fries. It's actually not from France. It's from another country near France, which is Belgium. So that one obviously was a mistake. But thanks though, because it's great. It's good. So yeah. So yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
yeah. So my next question is like, what else do people get wrong about France? Like, what else is like that you think is wrong about France?
Oh, I heard something the other day in my English class, actually, that said that American people think we don't wash ourselves, like we don't take any showers, which is completely false. I don't know if it's true in your country that you think we don't have shower or anything, but yeah, I mean we smell great. We do have shower and bath and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of Europeans don't bathe and like they don't take shower. I'm like, what really? And so,
What?
like, who are some of like your favorite like French like music or like artists that you like?
Oh, there are plenty actually. I listen to a lot of rap music, French rap music. We have a lot of great ones. I don't know if you know the names. I don't think so, but maybe you heard about someone named Orelsan. But yeah, I don't know. And yeah, another one, her name is Angèle. Maybe you know her because
Mhm,
she made a song featuring with Dua Lipa.
mhm.
So yeah,
That's yeah. I know that. Was it last year? Has it been 2 years since I'm known you? Last year, 2? Has it been 2 years? I think it's been
maybe
2 years.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like geez. I think it's been 2 years. But yeah, you sent me some French music last time, and I was like, I'm not gonna
Oh
lie,
yeah.
because I was like, I'm an American, and I think our music is the best. But like, you sent me some music from France, and I was like I was with my mom, and I said, man, this is some good like French music. And my mom was sitting there just banging some like, it was a French like lady, I forgot who it was, but like she was like a pop artist, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. So like friends, like when it comes to you and like you being French, like is it true that all French people are they're big into fashion or
I don't think so. Like, we do care about a lot about fashion and stuff, but not a lot of people are like 100% into it. You know, like I don't care personally, and I know other people that don't. But yeah, some people do care about that a lot. Depends.
yeah, and you're dedicated. And I give you that because you're always just you're eager to learn. But for the people who don't know you, like how did you first started learning English?
At school first, but it wasn't that great, you know, because at school you don't learn the real English that you will speak, you know, in real life. So you have to learn through Netflix, for example, you know, with series and movies, and then with YouTube, with some podcasts on Spotify and other stuff like that. Otherwise, yeah, you just can't speak English.
Did you find it hard to like learn English compared to just speaking French or what?
Oh, I would say French is particularly complicated to learn. Even French people can speak French. Like really, it's really amazing how complicated French is. But I would say English for me was pretty easy. It's not easy for everyone, every French people, you know. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was pretty easy.
How long did it take to how long do you think it took you to get to this point to where you are right now, speaking English?
Uh, I don't know. I think the best way to learn English is to go abroad anyway, because otherwise you can speak English properly. And I think I improved a lot my English when I went to the Netherlands about 1 year ago for 2 months. That's how I got better to it.
Yeah, and I can honestly tell a big difference between like because correct me if I'm wrong, you told me when you came on our podcast that I was the first person you spoke with over like phone or something like that in English. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, it was it was true. And I was scared about it. I was like, oh no, I can speak English, I can write it, I can type it, but yeah, speak it is another business, you know.
So when you went overseas, you went abroad, like it was challenging for you to like because you got other people from different countries talking to you and English is the one thing that everybody can speak. So did it kind of like make you want to be better at English, or?
Yeah, obviously because I love English too, because I learn English and German, but I just suck at German language, and I just don't like it, so I don't want to improve it. But English is another thing because I love it, and obviously everyone is talking English now, so yeah, everyone is speaking it. So it's easier to speak English, and you just improve it a lot when you go abroad because you have no choice but to speak English because they don't speak French, you know?
And like I said, I'm very proud of you because like I see a big difference, and I'm like this is a totally new person. I don't know who she is anymore speaking this stuff. And like um I want to say that when you're now that you're back home in France, uh do you around your peers and your family, do y'all speak English at all sometimes, or is it straight French?
Oh no, it's only French. No, it's only French. Like my parents don't speak English at all, and my sister, well, she also has some English classes, you know, but it's not a big deal either.
Do you have like people around you that you know that speak any English at all? That kind of like your friends or people at your school?
Yeah, I have to. I have some friends that speak English, but um, it depends. Like sometimes they can speak English very well, and others can make a sentence but won't be understood by English speakers. You know, so it's yeah, it's quite complicated.
Yeah. And like I feel like you have so much fun out there. But I know during COVID, they were really strict on y'all out there in France that y'all couldn't even like go outside at all. Like how crazy was that to be going through COVID while living in France?
Yeah, we were under quarantine for approximately 2 months, I think, and we couldn't go to like 1 kilometer. We have like 1 kilometer perimeter around our home, and we couldn't go further that 1 kilometer perimeter, and yeah, we had to stick to it, and we could go only outside for 1 hour per day. So it was quite hard, especially for people living in apartments and not houses, you know, just like me, because yeah, you're just stuck at your place, you know.
Yeah, I remember just you were Snapchatting. I'm like, you're stuck inside the house and it's like daytime outside. It's like what 8 p.m. was y'all's 8 p.m. was your curfew, I think, 8 p.m. And I was like,
I think it was even earlier. It was like 6 p.m. or something like that.
yeah, and I was like, it's still daylight outside. You have to be inside the house. Like, oh wow. So like I am so proud of you. You've been doing so much with your English, and you've been learning a lot. And like I love the fact that you love your country and you love being French because like you show it daily. And it's funny because like stuff that looks fancy to us is normal to you. Like just the other day about the clean streets, I'm like, why is y'all streets so clean? Like I was like, this can't, because it looked like a movie. I'm like, this is a movie. This can't be real, but it was real. That's what you go through every day. We're gonna have a little bit more with Léna. Léna is our guest today, and she is all the way from France. So we're gonna talk more about our cultural conversations. On Saturday, make sure you stay tuned to the Straight Up Show podcast.
I think straight up means to be able to speak in a way that is straight up, to be honest, and to speak your truth.
Raw, uncut, you know what I mean? It's blunt, straight to the point. This what it is.
It's just a place to be open and honest, and that's what I appreciate most about it. And it provides a place for community members to come together and just be straight up with each other about things that are going on in the world, because it affects all of us.
Unfiltered, raw, with all the cursing that Calvin does.
Straight up is just being real, telling it like it is, being you.
being solid, being who you are, no matter what it is, no matter what situation you're faced with. Right, this is who you are. It really speaks to me, saying it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Straight up.
The videos and images displayed all across the world cannot fully express what the people of Ukraine are going through. This senseless act of terrorism has cost many their lives and forced millions of Ukrainians out of their homes. Yet it's the Ukrainians' pride and resiliency that has inspired the entire world. So we here at Straight Up ask you to stand for freedom, stand for human rights, but most importantly, join us as we stand with Ukraine.
I'm Sultan Salahuddin from Southside Season 2 out right now. Make sure you tune in to the Straight Up Show podcast because that's where it's happening. You dig?
All right, welcome back to the Straight Up Show podcast. This is our cultural conversations. Today, we are with our guest today. Her name is Léna. Léna, thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Thank you.
And Léna is from France, and she's telling us a little bit more about the French and French culture. And this is a disclaimer. Even though Léna is from France, she does not represent all the French. So these opinions is just for her and how she feels about being living in France. So this is just all about her and what she goes through. She doesn't speak for everyone in France. Just to let y'all know right now, a quick disclaimer. So with that being said, Léna, let's jump right into it. So I know in America, and I know that when we had you on our podcast that originally, it was a lot going on. The world was, debate or protesting about what happened to George Floyd and the rest of the people, but all because in America, one of our biggest issues is racism. And I know in other places, like in Europe, racism isn't a problem, but they argue more about religion. So when it comes to social issues, what's the big issue in France that y'all kind of argue about or that y'all have disputes about one another?
Yeah, I would say, like you said, racism is a big issue in France. Depending on the different region in France, it's quite complicated, and others just can't feel that racism issue, And also I would say religious issue with Christianism and Muslim religion. So yeah, it's quite complicated.
So Muslims really big out there?
The issue is that we have a lot of immigrants coming into our country, and maybe there are like way many coming at the same time at the same places. Like some places in France aren't that much touched by this immigration that come here, but in my region we have a lot of immigrants coming, and it causes some tensions because usually they are Muslim. And so, yeah, it's quite complicated because they don't have the same cultural point of view, than French people have, and European culture, So
yeah. I can definitely see how that would kind of be something that's kind of bothering for some people. But I know you're just more like peace and love. You don't really care. You just live my life. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just live my life. YOLO, just I do what I want, basically. So I know that a lot of people that haven't visited France, but like when it comes to, I know you have family out here in America, right? What's some American cultures that you like? What's something about America that you love?
I would say movies, first of all. Like it's the main thing that pops to my head because you have like Marvels, you have DC Comics, you have very big stuff, from your box office. So it's the main thing that comes out here.
Who is some of your favorite American music? If you say Taylor Swift, I'm gonna end this whole thing. I'm just kidding. But who is no? I'm just kidding. But who are some of your favorite American music artists?
Oh, I actually love old, kind of old type music like AC/DC, Scorpions, Beatles, and stuff like that. Like on the rock part. I also love like old rap, like 50 Cent, uh, things like that. So yeah.
So if you ever go to like an American pop club, that's all they play is old school. They never play like new school like music at
Oh.
all. So it's always like 90s music, 2000s music, like 50 Cent. I'm just glad you didn't say Taylor Swift because I was like, you know what, Lena, we're friends, but I'm gonna have to delete. I'm just kidding. Like that's my person. Like I have my favorite music too, but like when they love Taylor Swift over here, like you just have no idea.
Here too.
I'm like,
we hear it everywhere.
I'm like,
So,
I
yeah.
don't get it. I don't get Taylor Swift. But anyway, oh, Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Like, I'm like, I don't like either one of those people. But okay, okay. So here's the big part. What's some of your favorite American foods?
Oh my! I think burgers or pizza if it's not Italian. But like, maybe burgers. It
Yeah,
would be the best choice.
but you know, like if you eat an American hamburger, you have to eat it
Mhm.
grilled. You can't get it like stovetop. It has to be like flame broiled, like on a grill, like not over the stove. It has to be a grill burger. You ever had one before, like an actual
Oh,
grill burger?
I think once, but I have to say it's pretty rare because usually you don't do it like on the grill.
Hmm. Have you ever had, since you have family out here in America, have you ever had thoughts about actually coming to America just to visit at all, or what?
It's funny you ask that because I may come next year because my studies will end up by the end of September 2023. And I may go abroad again, and I'm thinking about going to either US or Australia. So
Well, let me tell you, and this is no shade to anybody in California or New York, but I would say avoid California and New York because that's a lot to take in when you first come to America. It's a lot. Like I've been to California for the first time, and like I'm from America, and going to California, it was a lot to take in. I'm like, wow, this is too much right now. So I would say, not because you got family there, but I would say go to Louisiana because Louisiana does have people that speak French. So I mean, it would kind of make you feel comfortable. But for those out there that kind of don't have like positive things about France to say, or like tell people why they should visit France.
first of all, it's beautiful. Like we have every type of landscape. Like you can go to mountains, sea, and just visit different architecture. Like in the eastern part where I live, we have that kind of tiny houses, and it's really different from the south of France or even the west part of France. So yeah, and obviously food. Like we have great food. Yeah, it's really good.
No, man, I'm telling you, like this, I get so jealous of her because like I'm a big guy. I like to eat, but you had these croissants one day, and I was like, wow, like you over here eating croissants, and you got all this stuff. Like it's so jealous. And for y'all, it's just normal. So, like, I definitely want to go visit France. I think that but if I go, you have to be my tour guide for real. I need you and your friends. Like, hey, Calvin, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. Like, cause like I want to I want to see the Eiffel Tower. But have you ever been to the Eiffel Tower before?
Yeah, I've been twice. So
Have you been
yeah,
inside of it, or
I
just like you walked in front of it? Like, is it
yeah,
really big, or?
you climb on the stairs, and you can also go to the elevator if you want to, because it's quite long and hard and everything you want to go to the top. But yeah, it's really amazing. You have a beautiful view there.
So you've climbed the steps before, the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah, and the top of the Tour Eiffel Tower you can only access it by elevator because it's too tricky, to go up there by stairs. But yeah, you have one part with elevators and one part with stairs.
Oh man, I want to come out there. I owe you a lot. Like I owe this person. This is a incredible smart person. I'm so proud of you. I've known you for 2 years now, and it's like we become good friends. And like I said, just recently, I didn't think that somebody like you would like say, "Hey, stop crying, get up, be okay." I'm like, wow, like I got tough love where I didn't think I would get it from. But so I want to say thank you so much for like being there in my corner on my sad day I had, and you were just there. So it goes to show you that even though that Léna and I have never met in person, like you still can have friends all across the world. And I think that, and I'll let you answer this. Like, what can you tell people right now, Léna, why it's important to embrace other cultures?
I think it's important because we remain human beings, and we have just different cultural point of view, and it's really it's just really interesting to get to know every cultural point of view from every part of the world. It's just so interesting. I love it.
All right, so Léna, yeah, that is a lie. You're so right about that, and I couldn't agree with you more. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Miss Léna, all the way from France, thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure.
Yes, and I had to have her back on my show because I feel like that when we talked the first time, it was kind of sad conditions, but I love the French culture and I'm friends with her. So it's like, it makes me want to step out of my comfort zone and actually embrace it. And I really can't say much French, but before I go, Léna, can I say au revoir? Is that right? No?
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Okay, au revoir. So, au revoir. I know how to say, wait. Omelette du fromage.
Sorry?
Omelette du fromage. No?
Omelette au fromage?
Yeah, there you go.
Omelette au fromage, oh!
Yeah, there was a TV show called Dexter's Laboratory, and like he got stuck learning French, and all he could say was omelet with cheese, omelet with cheese, omelet with cheese. So omelette fromage. I said it again. Omelette fromage.
Omelette.
Omelette.
Au.
Yeah.
Omelette au fromage.
Omelette fromage.
Fromage.
Omelette.
Yeah, yes, sorry. Omelette au fromage.
Omelette au fromage.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't roll my tongue. My tongue is bad when it comes to like French. I can't do it. Like my sister speaks French, but I can't do it. Like I'm more of Spanish. So, but once again, Léna, thank you so much for coming on the show. That's the end of our show. We have visited France. We're going to keep going back to places, but the conversation does not have to stop right now. Make sure you go to our website, stripshowpodcast.com. Go look at Léna's previous episode, and actually you can go back and hear the difference between 2 years ago to right now and how she got better at her English. But the thing about it is that Léna is prime example of growth. She's learning English, and that if she can do it, if she can embrace somebody else's culture and their language, why can't you? So here at Straight Up, we encourage you to join the conversation, be part of the change in the world right now, because if Léna and I can do things and be out there and embracing other cultures, you can too. And I promise you, once we all can do this, I promise you, we'll start to learn to love each other more and more each day. So join the conversation. Go to our website, stripshowpodcast.com. That's STR8 upshowpodcast.com. There you can see all our previous episodes and look at our brand new merchandise that we have as well. If you want to support our podcast, go to patreon.com/straightupshowpodcast318. That's Straight Up Show Podcast 318 at patreon.com. Until then, there's only one rule to our show. You gotta be
Straight up.
all right. See y'all later.